Hi again. Guess what? Corey Jade, your video is not up. So I thought I'd practice again. I think I learned how to hang up last time. And let's see. What do I do? Yay! Corey Jade's, it's Scott Balo. Corey Jade video didn't come up. Did it come up for you? Hey, Scott, am I holding the phone the right way? Hey, you get off of my clothes. Hey, you get off of my... It's up and down. Because I think that's how I have to do it, so I can see chat. Rotate device. I don't know how to rotate device. Oh. Does this, let me see. If it's up and down, is there any wasted screen? It's good. Okay. Thank you. I haven't looked at the other one yet when she went down. When Corey Jade's vid wasn't there, I thought I'd practice. So I wanted to talk to you, Scott. I don't think I finished my thought process, but you're so awesome for showing it's black bars on the side. That's wasted space, right? So what about bubbles? My other videos are known for bubbles. It's black bars on the side. Bubbles or no bubbles? I don't know how to rotate it. I don't know how to rotate it. Okay. There seems to be, for me, a lag with, unless you're slow at typing. Dead GPK. Yeah, my bubbles. So, did you guys have any questions? Let me see. There we go. There's a delay on your side. Okay, yeah, there's a delay here too. So, I kind of said a lot with all the unexplainables, but since Scott, you're here, I wanted to say thank you so much for showing your vulnerable side, because I think people who have not made YouTube channels think that they need to be perfect or have it all together, have all the answers, and we're just all stumbling and mumbling our way through this. And so I think you're awesome, and you know, none of us are Scott Harrison or Mandela affected, but none of us are you, and you have a specific viewpoint. And first of all, you're adorable. You remind me of, what's his name? Cusack. John Cusack? I think I have to be honest. Yeah, you have to be honest, unless you're ready to tell me something new. Hi, Sequoia. Yeah, you were awesome. Just like Robert Woods represented the freak-out stage when I was going through the freak-out stage, and it helped me. But he was out there making videos, and I was, you know, under my covers, scared, with no one around me. Oh, Pop-Up says hi. What is Pop-Up doing awake, Sequoia? Pop-Up is the little baby that was in my video titled Women from the Future. Anyhow, Scott, you're doing a good thing by being on. And you're too young to be my son. I mean, I'm too young for you to be my son, I guess. So you're my little brother. I'm 54. I would have been 14. No, if you're 40, then you're like my little brother. And you bring me to tears because I just want to like hug you, Scott, because you're going through this and you said you don't even want to be here, which I can relate to, but I don't believe in taking my own life, because I do believe that we would just slip into another one of these costumes. I didn't know that there would be other versions of me. I thought I would just slip into another reincarnated human being or whatever, but I just didn't believe in that, and I just thought I would have to work out the same karma, and I just didn't want to. I'm trying to do as much as I can now to get everything balanced, but you, in your live stream, you changed your mind that you didn't want to be here because you said that you were here to help humanity, and we're absolute. You'll take little brother, yeah. But you touched me that you wanted to help humanity, and so I wanted to talk to people like Scott who don't know why the hell we're here, why the hell we have the Mandela effect happen to us. But for me, once I went after the freak out stage, I put two and two together, and what happened for me in 2015 is, okay, so I explained I have unexplainables. I see things, do things, feel things, know things. I've seen people morph in front of me. I've seen dead people, angels, fairies. I'm not talking about the little orbs that you sometimes see in my videos. I've seen a gremlin. I call him a gremlin, not a demon. He was just mischievous. So I'm out there. I was out there before. I've been labeled and judged and whatever. So, you know, being called Emmy, or I always wanted to start a word. When I was little, I always wanted to create a word. And when I was on YouTube and all the chats before I had my own channel, I was so tired of writing Mandela affected, and I didn't like how people were calling us MEs when things that are changed are MEs. So I just started writing ME apostrophe ER, and it's just all over the place now. So anyhow, it's just like my wish from a little girl to start a word came true. I don't know, little Jenny's kind of happy. But after the freak out session phase of it, of finding out that this Mandela effect like was earth-shattering, I realized that unexplainable, the biggest unexplainable that I've had in 2015, and again the solar eclipse 2017, was I believe related to the Mandela effect, because first of all, in 2015 I had a breakdown after enduring the vision, and it was I don't see chat. Did I shut people up? Your friend said he's a time shifter. I think we're all time shifters. You, Sequoia, are a time shifter because you did not live in this or this or this or this. You come from this world with the face up thinker. So you're a time shifter too, Sequoia. Should I talk still on sound is good? Should I do this on live, talk about my unexplainable? Scott, I want to trust your opinion since you've been doing live shows. My unexplainables. Should I talk about them? Scott, are you still with me? All right. Okay, so my unexplainables, they always have a sweet ending, and it finishes and it leaves my body. So I have different examples, and I'll just get a prompting and I go like this. Someone told me that the heart, that the spirit chakra is down here, but it just goes like this to me, and I get this feeling, and then I'm prompted, and I just have this knowing for different things. What are different things? Like putting my hand on that assistant manager at Wendy's with her permission, and she could walk normal again. I get messages here. I know that belongs to a different religion. I've seen angels, and the way I described it, a pastor's wife talked about it. But, you know, there's just so many unexplainable stories, but they always end when the deed was done. When the good deed was all the way complete, it can be done. And I think future, I'll talk about, different ones in future. But Scott, your live stream today, or I guess yesterday, really touched me. And I feel like we all have this thing that we're here. We're not crazy about being here, but yet we have this huge urge to be here for humanity. So I want to talk about this unexplainable. It was so intense and complex and all sorts of different messages that I actually didn't know how to handle it, because I thought, I'm supposed to do this? And I had a breakdown. And yeah, the world is unreal, Sequoia. I'm ready to cry too, because for good crying, because once I realized what the Mandela effect was, I thought, oh my gosh, I don't have to do this unexplainable, the biggest unexplainable, by myself. And that I felt like I had ears that were all in it together. And even though I don't have all the answers to it, it's about helping the collective. I know I sound crazy. Sequoia is new to all of this chatting and theories and everything. So everyone, please welcome Sequoia. She's actually from the future, and in chat, she may want someone to also talk with her, because Sequoia, I know you and I do our personal chats, but everyone that's on here, and you'll find more in our community, they will be able to answer your questions. She had asked about, that we're in a dome, and, we could be in a petri dish. We could be avatars for a big gamer. We could be avatars for God in a human costume. So she'll get much. So Sequoia, I'm not going to read chat because I really want to talk this out, because I saw Scott's thing, and I think all of us are just wondering what the heck we're doing here, and what their different theories. I'm not saying mine is right. This is just different thoughts coming out, okay? I'm going to take a drink from my water jug. Okay. So there are different messages. One is, I was slowly, maybe it was a little similar to the Grandma Jones space, but I was to recognize who was around me, and the room was empty. I'll just say room, but it was in that Grandma Jones space I talked about before, or maybe the previous, that first live stream. And I couldn't see anybody, but I slowly recognized the essences of people that I knew. My children, my birth family, the friends the 3D friends that were in my life, and then they materialized into the physical form that I recognize them as. And then, this is so complex. And then I slowly, it just kept going. So once I was able to recognize, and I used to have a belief system that we are all, the Dalai Lama said this in my timeline, or my live stream, is we are all the same, equally beautiful, multifaceted, brilliant diamond. So you may ask, how are we different? And it's because our different facets have different layers of dust on them. And so our brightness is shadowed in different thicknesses and in different areas. And so we are each here. I personally believe we are all one big diamond, and we've just put ourselves out there in these beautiful mini diamonds, but equally just with different karma, you could say, or things to work out, things to experience. And anyhow, so I see people. That's another one of my sixth sense-ish thing is, I think the MEers have a really good BS factor, but I also have this different types of telepathy, and one I call stereo. I think it Rains on the Plains is the one that's talked openly about it. My cat Nelson's running back and forth. Rain on the Plains talked about this, where she could hear what's the inner person's conversation in addition to the ones that they were presenting. So if you get a room full of people, it's extremely overwhelming. And yeah, Nelson, he's now in the other room. And so anyhow, so I see you. You guys are going to change looks. Obviously, we've all been changing. Look at my ears. It's down to everyone needs to stick their pinky. It used to be Dr. Oz said that we could stick only our pinky in our ears. Well, guess what? We can stick our whole thumb in our ears. Dr. Oz was wrong. And our earlobe goes down to the jawline. And this is huge, such acreage. And some of us are even getting the little fairy look. So I always wanted to be a fairy. But anyhow, I digress. Sometimes, the GPK says, sometimes you can see the actual intentions. Yeah, I can feel it and I know it. And it's almost amusing because it's like I'm watching a play and this actor is presenting one thing, but I also see the real. And when they're lying, whatever, that's a whole other thing. But so as your bodies are changing, I still see you, and I believe our bodies are going to change to things that we're not going to be able to recognize eventually. And I see essence. So I think part of the unexplainable was to help me practice that, was that there was nothing in the room, and until I recognized or felt the LC May, we all have a sixth sense. Yes. So fortunately for me, I've already experienced many different things. I'm not a professional. I don't accept money. I just have a front row seat to these amazing things that happen to me. And so, but this unexplainable, there has not been the sweet ending yet. And I think, Scott, that's why we're here, is first of all, we need, so instead of describing the whole experience, I'll sum it up. You have to see the essence of each person that you know already and know their essence. And if they're not there, would you recognize them? If they come in different form, would you recognize them? Then the next thing to do, and I had not experienced the morphing yet, So I've seen people change into other people. And one of them was a black-white change. So, and you know, other things were other forms, and whatever. So, I mean, I've already experienced that. But so first is to recognize the essence of people that you know, and then to also see the beautiful, brilliant diamond and the essence and everyone in your community. Maybe that's why we're spread out. I don't know. And then the one is to basically spread this message to everybody, to the last man on earth. Now, when I get messages here in my mind's mind, it comes into symbols that I understand. So when people like Nathan gets messages through Sam, I could have started a whole religion, you know, after seeing the Liquid Lady or the three angels that I saw, you know, but for Nathan, he received messages from his near-death experience named Sam. Now you are going to have your own personal messengers, and I'm going to have my own personal messengers. So like for the Wendy's lady, I saw a fist. For me, I was abused, so that means badness. I didn't know what part of her body, what my hand like a magnet went to fix, to you know, it was just a message that was the badness that was in the body that had to be removed. So, oh, it's so hard to describe everything. Sorry, guys. Oh my gosh, Mel, hi. Amber, Mel Amber, and my sister, Mrs. Howard. Thank you. I was just getting nervous about finishing or continuing with the unexplainable. So thanks for the support. So first we need to recognize the essence in all of those around us, even when they're with us, but they may be in different form. Their real selves, not the ones they present to the world, and certainly not the ones when we start changing bodies. Then the message continued that we need to recognize that, I'll use the word divine, even though I'm not religious, but you know, that divine, beautiful diamond self in everyone, that to the last person on the earth. Again, this is the vision. This is for those of you who've just joined in. This is not me saying it was a vision that I experienced twice. And then once we got the last man on earth, I thought, this is it. You know, we'll have done it. We didn't. We actually had to go, and we looked like aliens on UFOs, traveling to what I perceived to be caveman. We went to every era, eon, whatever section of time, and we had to try to explain to the caveman, again, it's just messages in my mind, about that every being has this special brilliant diamond and is worthy, and everybody, I need to backtrack. I saw the trajectory of where humanity was going and what we were doing and what was going to happen to our earth. That is not the trajectory that we are on anymore with the rate that we are going. So that's the good news. But we can't just sit here. We have to continue doing it. And it's to have enough of us. This part sounds so flower childish, but the message was that we needed to be love. And, you know, I already am love, and so I'm like, well, how am I, you know, I'm supposed to spread the message of be love. Well, that sounds really ridiculous to go around to people to say be love, be love, be love. So anyhow, I sarcastically I was sarcastically responding to some of this messages, and and it would respond back nicely. But we cannot manipulate love. We cannot manipulate someone into being love. We cannot preach on how to be love. We each individually have to be love through our words, actions, feelings, and thoughts. Those were the 4 things. And being love is the hardest thing to do. It's also actually the easiest thing to do if we can detach or unattach. Thanks, Bob Bant. Really thanks. Unattach from what you are experiencing. So if you can, it's not to not, I'm not unvalidating what you're experiencing, but how you experience it is your choice. And personally, I am not talking about what happens to children. So I can't wrap my brain around that one. As a child, I didn't have a choice. So no child, that's another story, okay? So I don't understand that. But as an adult, I can choose to be sad about something. I can choose to be insulted. I can choose to be offended. I could choose to what you doing? What you doing? Come here. I don't know what he's doing. Sorry, that was Nelson Mandela. I'm all over the place. But so that message was to be love. And Miss Start, we'll get full story from you later. I hope sounds amazing. All right, bye. I know this is long. It's just I want to finally get this out because I think it's time. Seeing Scott Balo, everyone needs to sub to his channel because he represents the raw angst and vulnerability I think that we each have. Yet we are such loverlies. I'm going to start crying. Scott, you touched me big time. We are such loverlies, and we just want to be there and help people. And that's what I think this unexplainable was, that we have to be love, recognize everybody as their brilliant diamond self, and be love, and have each of them be love. And then can I share Discord link? Yeah, I don't know how to do that, but I don't even know how to give banners on here. Wrench. I think a person with the wrench would have to allow it. Scott Balo is SCOT. Just click on his icon. Melanie Gallagher. Amber, click on his icon, and you'll get a choice of go to channel. But it's SCOTTBAYLO. And Amber, everyone on here is actually someone that is part of our group. So again, back to this message, sorry I keep getting distracted, is you go back to, so those of you who've joined, hey, Mandela Mile, so this vision that I had in 2015 was basically realizing the essence of everybody, the beautiful diamond essence of everybody in this whole world, and to be love. And you can't force people to be love, but once we're able to convince, and I believe the 100th monkey theory thing is related to this, is you need a certain percentage of us that are high vibes, and that can envision a place of love and opening doors. Sean Indigo just did a thing of just simple things, and a long time ago I did a list of just things. You just smile at someone, you put a shopping cart away. You let someone in even if they didn't put their blinker on in front, and not begrudgingly, but just like, oh yeah, I've had hard days too, and even if they're one who does that all the time, whatever. Melanie, I'm trying to talk. Let me see. Why H won't let me post links? Yeah, Amber, I'm new to this. I'm sorry, I don't know. Should I continue talking, or I don't know how to give wrenches. I think if someone had a wrench, Amber, Melanie Gallagher, but I don't know how to give wrenches. Sorry. Sorry, I don't know how to give wrenches, Mandela Mile. I don't know how. I poke and it just says report, remove, put user in timeout, hide user on this channel. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out, so I apologize. Okay. So, don't be sorry, Jen. Okay, thanks. Good. Yeah. You guys will let me know if there's someone trolling here, but so far you guys are all my friends on here. So, Scott and others, I believe my unexplainable vision, the one that has not had that sweet ending, it's not finished, because all the other ones have finished, but the one in 2015, which I had a breakdown afterwards, or in it, had to kind of recover from that, and then when it came again on the solar eclipse, and I believe Mandela effect is related, because I woke up right after the solar eclipse too. So I saw the trajectory of what happens to our planet, and this is where my theory comes in, is that we are, and it's funny because Amber didn't understand what I was saying, so hopefully you guys might, but it's my theory. So that we are an essence that is here on Earth to play. It's like a stage, and that we are here to, our essence is here to experience life, and to play different roles, and to just maybe clean up some karma and gather some other karma. I don't know. Oh, hey, Debbie R. Hi. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. I get distracted easily. So this unexplainable, Scott, you keep being my anchor. After the last man on Earth was able to understand that basically the fate of humanity, because our essences, our brilliant diamonds, are actually not human beings. We just have the honor of being able to express ourselves. Our essence has the honor of being able to express itself through the human being experience. And so our essence, and I believe the reason why the whole galactic megaverse, infinity, whatever, I believe that it's all connected to us, because they're also which is we, is also experiencing life in other forms, but it's we humans that are actually going to ruin the stage that we play on. And as Harley 428 says, people say that we are the universe. But this is serious, everyone. The universe is also we. It's also you. And so, yeah, what if, my belief is that all of these different worlds that we seem to come from, that they're all actually superimposed on this one world, one stage, one location. So my theory is that we are expressing ourselves in different life streams as human beings, but also as different things, non-human beings. And it's a lot of information. I feel like Mandela affected. Are you telling me to stop talking? All I know is that the trajectory of humanity, I saw it, and that's why I had the breakdown, because it's a horrible thing, and that we ourselves are in control of what happens. Those who control the future and the past control the now. So we, I believe, have been awakened so that we could actually prevent hurting ourselves through actions of a few people. And we seem to be a different kind of one percenters, or hopefully soon to be one percenters. So, or more. I don't know what the 100th monkey theory magic quotient is, but with the unexplainable, it didn't need to be everybody, but it needed to be a certain percentage of us that had the high vibe love thing. And not only was it had to be, it was also showing me that we were not only ourselves, we were also we were the world that the cavemen lived in. We were the world that the dinosaurs lived in. We are the world that the future people and maybe aliens live in. I have a feeling we're the future aliens as well. Sorry, MA. We're just everything at the same time in all the locations in the same place. And so the vision, it's kind of heavy duty if we're responsible for everything, everywhere. But the solution is simple. Enough of us needs to be high vibe. And, oh, thank you, Scott. Scott Balo wrote, I actually get that. Thank you, because it's such an overwhelming concept. And, I believed it. We are one, blah, blah, blah. It's all hippie-ish talk, flower child talk. And I believed it on so many levels, but I never dreamed that there would be different versions of me in different versions of worlds. And then, so I think, thank you, Scott. All right. I will look at the chat now. It's just weird to only experience this one part. What, the Mandela effect, Scott? My nose turns red when I cry. Sorry about that. I'm not sorry. It's me. I feel like our current self, it is hard being our current self. I believe, Scott, that you are like me, and I have a feeling most of us are, that even though we're fed up with this life and we just don't get it, that we probably knew that we were in this kind of danger, because to me time's not linear, and that we said, yeah, sign me up, coach. And Scott, just feeling you tonight, that sounds wrong, feeling you, but sensing you tonight, I just felt like, I think we knew as children, yeah, I knew as children that I was not one of them, which is people. I don't get it either, and I hate it for my children. Well, maybe that's why we're here, Debbie, to finally do it, you know, and our hearts hurt because we didn't want, you know, future life experiencers to experience it at this ridiculously stupid level. So that would be a mission worthy in itself. But if it's really for the big mission, I actually feel that we've prevented it already. The trajectory that I saw, if we just keep going. So Melanie Gallagher has said, you know, that it makes her feel good. I don't know, the chat's disappeared for me, but yeah, she talked about it makes her feel good that her here we go. Dog I love died yesterday. I'm so sorry. I'll tell you about my Luna Bear. I actually had a service dog, and Nelson Mandela is my service cat, and Luna Bear. She was a white lab mix, and I was diagnosed with bone cancer, and it magically disappeared. And the next couple days, my dog was randomly diagnosed with bone cancer. They just happened to come across it after she was injured while I was in the ER. And they just happened to come across it. It's almost like she took it or something. But but two of my dogs came to me. So I already had an experience where my golden retriever came to me. So, but I was extremely close to my service dog. The other dogs were pet dogs and not always with me. But Luna was always with me. And New Year's Eve 2015, I still get choked up. I would see her after she died. Like I sometimes see dead people and angels and whatever. And I was pissed. Why the fuck would I want to see my dog if I can't physically hug her? And I'm like, yeah, I know you're still here, blah blah blah. But I was mad, and I kept looking the other way. But of course, she's just an image, so she could get in front of me. But she also respected my wish to not see her because I was mourning the loss of her. And but then she just do her wrinkly smile with her cheeks wrinkling up, and then the smiley face's eyes. And I finally allowed her to stay, and it was good to be with her again. I could not physically hug her, but if you would have visually seen me, this would have marked me crazy. I was hugging air, but from my point of view, I was hugging her. And there is something it is an honor to be in physical form, because I was able to hug my golden retriever through another dog. That's another story, because those two dogs behave totally different, and the characteristics of my golden, who just died, entered or became my black lab mix. And those two dogs were so different, and so I mean I was able to physically hug my golden. So I was not able to physically hug my Luna Bear, and I still miss her. I've not mourned her, and I've not spread her ashes yet. So anyhow, I have lots of unexplainables, but I gave you pretty much the biggest one tonight because of Scott's heart, because your heart, Scott, that as stinky as our experiences are here, you know, I believe that we're here to do that. MA, I can just feel you. I don't know if you're watching now or not. We have different theories, for sure. I still agree with yours, though. And I love everybody. I guess I'm going to go to chat. If you have a question, I'll answer it, but otherwise I'll just practice reading chat, since this is a practice thing. I wish I knew how to give wrenches, though. The puppies. I miss the dogs. Debbie, thank you. I can feel it. You have so much love in your heart, and even your videos, Debbie. It's like, boom, the love just puffs out, like, you know, like you have baby powder and you go. That's what your love is. It's a war over our hearts. Yes, Plume Sarah. Your cherry blossoms were beautiful. I used to see them in DC when I lived there. But your video, thank you for sharing that for us. I actually have a playlist. YouTube keeps turning off access for you guys to see, but I have a playlist of It's a Good Life. And just literally what you did, Plume Sarah, of just have whatever, a minute or two of just the beautiful things in this world. And just seeing the cherry blossoms in Japan. Thank you very much for sharing. Plume Sarah, MA and Scott Harrison are looking for... Plume Sarah, you live in Japan? Because they're looking for people to cover a 24/7 place that's around the world. And hold on. Plume Sarah, are you in Japan? Would you be willing to do an hour of live streaming? Talk with Mandela Affected, or talk with the people in chat, and they can help guide you, because we're looking for people in different points around the world. I was going to say globe, but my world is heart-shaped. So... and it's a pulsating heart shape. Bump, 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 bump. Corey Jade is a spy on the ground, finding out if our hearts are going back to the left. For me, I do residue looks to, I don't want to just trust that someone is telling me something's a Mandela effect. Those were beautiful. David Morris, I don't recognize you. Wish I could help, Jen. You are helping. You, okay, so... you know what? If you type the letters, everyone, the Discord is a good place to... I met Melanie Gallagher during my freakout session, especially for any newbies. The Purple Flame in Discord is the place to go. I have shared a fascinating doc in Flame on results of new 7-year research project on Shape of Earth. Well, I know you and I have different angles from this, and every angle is an extremely important piece of the pie. And it's not just one pie, it's a bakery. First of all, my phone does not let me get on Discord anymore. But to me, the earth is the shape is created by different realities, and every reality that it is in is real. That's all from my point of view. So, and I believe every research, does represent that specific Earth that you're researching. So, I don't know what your project's about, but that's just my 2 cents worth. So, but Melanie is one of a handful of people that were just there during my freak out, and different freakouts, plural. And they're good, especially for the new people. And I have a little tiny cherry bush. Aw, good. I love cherries. This is cool, being able to do this. You use a stethoscope and your heart is still on the left. Yeah, we're finding out that it's been moving to the left. Corey Jade, Korie space Jade, is actually, because of her medical issues, is now tape recording doctors, and they're acknowledging. I think it's in the process of moving. And then Greg Oliver, hi Greg, love you, has a personal book, an anatomy book, and that has changed for him again. So it's on the left. Well, last I spoke with him, it's on the left side. But when the heart was in the center, I did a residue look for the Pledge of Allegiance, and at first it was always all on the left, and then there were some where the Pledge of Allegiance was here. So, and for me, like the Marilyn Monroe mole is just on, it doesn't matter which side, but I've been to different experiences here, fat one, symmetrical ones, and now, the last I checked, there were never, she never had any moles, and they've always been fake. But I do not see any photograph of her having one here. But I look up Marilyn Monroe piercing, which is a location for where to put a piece of jewelry, and it's actually here, and it's called Marilyn Monroe piercing. Why would they call it that if she's never had one here? But whatever. And then the kidney stone, since I passed kidney stones, I know exactly what that was. I have a great unexplainable with kidney stones too. Someone can remind me for next live stream, I can do that. And 53 minutes, wow guys. I need to learn how to do the wrench though. So I'll have to figure that out. But the kidney punch, okay, so I looked up Boxer's kidney punch, because for my own sanity, I knew where my kidney stones were, but, I guess for my sanity, wanted to find out if there was any proof. And so what was interesting is then I looked up what are the hand motions for a kidney stone pain, when our kidneys were close together under our rib cage in the front. And the kidney stone pain was, you bend over like you have a stomach ache, like you had the wind kicked out of you. And that was hilarious to me because, that's not where I experienced it. But I happened to be going to physical therapy for my feet. And so I asked the lady there, and she pointed to the kidneys being here to my to the side. No. I said where are the I said, what are the hand motions for the kidney stone pain? And she did the bending over, and I'm forgetting the order now. Yeah. Okay, so she pointed to the side for the kidney. She bent over for the kidney stone pain, and then I said, and what are the hand motions for someone being in pain from a boxer's kidney punch? And her hand immediately went to her side, and then she did that, what we call rewiring, reprogram stare, that dull, receiving new information. And all of a sudden, then she corrected herself and said that the kidney stone pain was to the right. And I thought, wow, she just slipped back into the past world, or I slipped into yet another new version. And so I asked her, I said, would you please, stay with me, don't disappear. And I said, do you remember how you did the other one? And so she's kind of confused, but she stayed, remembering both. And then I showed her my phone, and the night before I had checked the kidney stone punch, and I guess I was in the middle of a shift, because when I showed her where the kidney stone was, it moved back to the side. And what was weird is she initially did that punched in the gut motion, so she too shifted with me. But if everything's an illusion, is everyone around me an illusion? And there's Nelson. Hi! Meet everybody! Hi! That's my abandoned kitty. I found him the same time I found Mandela Effect, so I named him Nelson Mandela. Well, it's 56:56, which is 11:11, so I think I'm going to figure out how to turn this off again, and I want to thank everybody for practicing with me, and I'll learn how to get those wrenches. I love you all. Mwah. Bye. Mwah. I don't know how to do this. Love you.